Hello, welcome to my makeup desk. Look at the disarray. Just take a quick look at the disarray. Well, this is just a mess. I just finished filming my New Year's Eve makeup look. If you could see my sparkle. And this is ridiculous. Like, it's such a mess and I need to clean it. And I thought that we would organize this while I chatted with you about random shiz. So that's what we're gonna do. I love organizing, okay? And I haven't been able to bring myself to do it. So I thought maybe you guys would keep me accountable. Hopefully. I'm gonna put gloves on because I just did my nails and I don't wanna mess them up. And also I don't feel like washing my hands again. So I have an update for you guys. Where did the trash bag go? So for anyone who watched my super long makeup tutorial recently that I did, what was that? I don't even remember now. What was I doing? Oh, it was the Bailey Sarian Melt collab. If you watched that video, it was like over an hour long. So like props to you if you made it through. But if you did, I told some crazy stories about, and you know what, if you missed it, then I'll put it up here for you to watch if you want something that's like super long to get ready to, because it's just crazy. I had some crazy stories. Oh wow, I really need to get some more Fix Plus. Damn. I told some crazy stories about I always almost say roommate. He wasn't a roommate. He lived above us, but he might as well have been a roommate. George, we called him George. George was not his real name, but we called him George. I gotta get rid of some of these mascaras. So I was talking to I don't know, somehow he came up in conversation after that. I think I just like mentioned it to my boyfriend, and my boyfriend Googled his name and we found out that he died in, I can't remember what year, 2022, I think, which was crazy. So because I was trying to look for him on Facebook and I couldn't find him anywhere. And then my boyfriend Googled him and he was like, is this him? And I was like, oh my God, that's him. And it was an obituary. I was like, oh my God. So RIP George, even though you made my life a living hell. I'm not trying to like, you know, whatever. Wow, I don't even know where to start with this. Let's take the dirty brushes off, I guess. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. I was just so surprised to hear that. I really thought that he was like gonna be one of those crazy people who lasted forever, you know? But rip to George. Where did I just put that thing? Oh, it's right here. I need to get a new one, actually. I should probably wash this. I should wash this. I should wash this. I have my green smoothie. Water, need to remove the water. I was thinking the other day about how I used to be so much more active on all of my platforms, but in particular like Instagram stories and just the ones where whatever, I don't know. I was just like more active in general. And it's just been like, it's so crazy. I think I've like mentioned this a few times, but I've just had this incredibly like slow regression from wanting to be active on any of my platforms, which is just like, I don't know, it's kind of crazy. I don't want to look at myself. It's kind of crazy. And I know I've told the story before, like where it kind of started, but where it started really, if you don't have any idea, I had been doing YouTube for a while before it ever became successful at all. I can't remember how long it took, but it took a really long time before anything started to make any sense, before like I started making any kind of like money on YouTube and be able to like make it a lifestyle. Up until that point, I was kind of relying on collaborations with brands, and that was doing fine, but it was very like inconsistent. I didn't have a whole lot of like control over it and whatever. So obviously, like the dream was always to make YouTube work as like a full-time thing. And eventually I reached that. Oh God, this is just so good. I'm sorry. The Lisa Eldridge, I wore this. It's the Lurex eyeshadow. I wore this for Christmas Eve. So beautiful. Anyway, the dream was always to like, you know, you want to like gain subscribers so that people are like watching your stuff and you're making a living off of all of the work that you've been putting in. Because like when you're a YouTuber, when you start being a YouTuber or any kind of social media person, for the most part, you're working for free for a really long time. Or you're doing that on top of another job, which is how I first started. And it's just like a lot. You have to put a lot of work into it, you know, to any freelancer will know if you're trying to like get word of mouth out there or, you know, I mean, it's different for different industries, whatever. It's a lot of work. And you're usually having to support yourself doing something else. And so I did that for years. Eventually, my YouTube during the pandemic, my YouTube just like really started to take off. And when that started to happen, I started having just like an emotional crisis where I just like I got kind of freaked out that there were like so many eyes on my videos. God, these are really dirty. I should wash these. And I don't know, it just kind of like freaked me out. And so I started to pull back a lot. And I know that I've mentioned this. If you've been watching my channel for a while, or if you followed me on any of the apps, then you probably know. Like you know this already, that from experience probably, that I have pulled back a lot. And it's not something that I necessarily wanted to do. I just kind of felt like because of the attention, I wanted to retreat, which is kind of my like go-to. What the fuck what are these lashes? These are very dirty. I feel like I should just get rid of these. That's kind of my go-to when I'm not feeling 100%, or even I would say 85%, even if I'm feeling 70%. I don't really like people to see me in that place. And so I tend to retreat. And so that's basically what I did for, I don't know, a lot of years now. It's been a lot of years. It's been a hell of a lot of years, you know? And I've never really like come back fully or felt comfortable coming back fully. And I just wanted to apologize for that with my glove hands. Yeah, just because like, I don't know. I'm sure there are plenty of people who really respect the fact that I do take time, or that I like don't share my boyfriend or anything like that. I mean, I know that there are, because people have asked before and people usually respond in the comments and will be like, she doesn't talk about that stuff or whatever. And I really appreciate all of the people who like respect that kind of privacy. Just to be clear though, I'm a nosy bitch, okay? So like I completely understand being interested or like wanting the info, you know? Like if it was me on the other side, I would be like, bitch, tell us, you know what I mean? Yeah, that being said, actually I don't remember what I was saying there. What was I talking about? Yeah, basically all I wanted to say about that is that I'm just like, I feel bad about it, especially recently because I've been, oh my God. Why was this cap not? Oh my God, I can't believe the Inglot Duraline. This cap wasn't even on and it was just on its side. Nothing spilled out. That's incredible. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know. I've just been feeling like guilty about it. And I feel I've learned recently that I feel guilty about basically everything in my life. I'm sure that there are a lot of people who are going to relate to this. I started doing therapy recently. What month is this? So probably like I'm going on a little over 2 months now that I've been doing it. I'm basically moving everything from this desk over to this dresser because I'm going to clean and then we're going to come back and organize. Anyway, by the way, I hated this concealer, the Makeup by Mario concealer. I was going to do like a video on it and I just ended up absolutely hating it. I got 2 colors. Where's the other color? Who cares? It's terrible. I hate it. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's terrible. I should probably keep it though, in case I do like some kind of a roundup video. Oh God, I don't know. Throw some shit on the floor. Let's just move everything to the floor. So yeah, I started doing therapy and I'd been wanting to do it for, I'm just gonna sit on the floor. Oh. Oh. Hi. I've been wanting to do it for a really long time. And I kept putting it off. It's just one of those things where it's like, oh, I just have to like write the email or I have to make the call or whatever. And I finally did it after all of these years. And it's definitely been a lot. If anyone has done it, then you know. that it's a lot to just kind of like go over everything in your life, you know, to catch them up on stuff, explain yourself and relive certain things. It's just like very emotionally draining, but it's been really good. It's been really good. And I've had days afterwards, like after my appointments, where I just feel like calm. Like I feel good and I feel calm. And it's kind of like I don't know, like a catharsis or something. There's too much stuff up here. Anyway, I mentioned that because, like I said, when I'm not feeling 100%, or even a little bit like 50, I don't know, I just don't want to interact. I don't want to interact. I want to retreat. I want to be alone so that I can work on myself, so that I can like come back better, which is kind of like a self-defeating cycle, because then you're just like preventing yourself from experiencing certain things in life, or like a lot of things in life. And like, do you ever get to perfection? No. So that's kind of like what I wanted to talk about, or that something that's just been on my mind, is that like, I never considered myself a perfectionist, like ever, never considered myself a perfectionist. Probably because I got like bad grades in school. And I was kind of just like, I didn't care about that stuff at all. I don't know why I like attributed it to grades, or schoolwork or whatever. I just didn't care. I didn't care about school and that stuff. I cared about it like from a social standpoint. Like I loved my friends and that, but like, I don't know, whatever. I've never considered myself a perfectionist at all. Not even a little bit. I don't think anyway, in any aspect. Actually, that's a lie, probably. Whatever. If you think about it, it makes sense, but I'd never considered it that way. I never considered it. Do these lights really need to be on? Probably not. But yeah, anyway, I was having this conversation with my therapist, and she was telling me essentially, I really like her, by the way. That could be like the hardest part, is like finding someone that you actually like and that you can connect with. And so that was actually like a really good experience. It was kind of surprising that it worked out so easily. Actually, the way that I found her, because I feel like that's one of the most difficult parts of therapy, is like trying to find somebody. The way that I found her was I accidentally, oh God, oh my God. What am I doing? Oh God. I accidentally reached out to the wrong kind of person. I like didn't know what the difference was between like, I don't know, like a talk therapist or a psychiatrist or whatever. I contacted a psychiatrist because I was like, I probably just need the best of them. I just assumed that they would be great. And she was amazing, like so nice, and like explained like oh wait, I need wipes now. Oh fuck. I'll be right back. Anyway, she just like explained basically like what the difference is between like all of the people, like all the different kinds, like psychotherapist and like therapist and like talk there, whatever. And honestly, like I feel like I connected with her so much. Like she was so sweet. I was like, can you just be it, please? Like I just want you to be it because you're so great. But anyway, we had like a long conversation, and she kind of like made a list of professionals who she knew, and then like recommended them to me, which was pretty awesome. So I just kind of like revisited the list. That was years ago at this point, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. And I just revisited the list and then reached out to, honestly, she was the first one, and she just kind of like worked out, which was pretty surprising, to be honest. I was expecting to shop around for a while, but I just like, I don't know, she's just like no bullshit. Like she's no bullshit, but she's also not like an asshole. You know what I mean? Like she's compassionate and like knows how to be sympathetic. So it's like the perfect combination of what I need. But I still sometimes have like a really difficult time feeling comfortable opening up to her fully. Like I've noticed it depends on my mood. Sometimes I'll just like totally clam up. And then other times I'm like, like stuff is just like pouring out of my mouth. Like I'm just like, ew, that was a weird way of describing that. But information is just like falling out of me, you know? So I've been trying to think about this, like, the idea of perfection and the fact that I like create this idea of what perfection is for me. And a lot of it has to do with like what I'm not accomplishing, what I'm not doing. And that could be as simple as like house chores, like things around the house. Like this is something that's been needed, like it's been needing to be done for a very, very long time. And I've been putting it off. I've been ignoring it. And that makes me feel pretty horrible. Mostly because there's other stuff that has to be done around the house. And if that doesn't get done, then I start stressing. So I have this like hierarchy of like what needs to get done. But then because I'm spending so much time on these things that I'm like, this needs to get done or else I'm not going to be able to like relax, I don't end up spending any of the time doing things that I like would actually relax me or fulfill me or whatever. I'm sure that this resonates with a lot of people because I feel like this is a problem. This idea of like things having to be done a certain way or by a certain time, like creating these like pretend parameters and rules. I feel like that's something that pretty much everybody does these days, or maybe not everybody, I don't know. There's definitely like, I've talked to some people, I've received comments from people who have ADD, who say that like they struggle with that kind of thing, with the like the schedule and the accountability and that kind of thing. So obviously it's not everybody. Everybody like handles that shit differently. There's so much lip liner. So much lip liner. But I do feel like when I talk about this kind of thing, a lot of people have resonated with it. So I don't know. I just feel like in today's world, it feels like, and since the pandemic, like during the pandemic, it was like a whole thing where people were talking about like, oh, what's your project during the pandemic? And there were so many people who, you know, were so isolated and so depressed. It's like, fuck a project, bro. Like I'm just trying to like not lose my mind being like isolated, you know? There's some stickers on this thing that I'm just like, you can just live there. Oh wait, actually maybe I can get this. Oh, I got it up. Ha. Oh, here's another one. Ooh. So yeah, I guess like one of the reasons that I wanted to talk about this is just kind of give you like an idea of what's been going on with me in the past few years. Because I don't really like how much I've pulled back, but I just felt like I had to. Like I just felt like I needed to remove myself. And I don't love that because like it creates this weird barrier. I don't know. Certain things aren't going to change. Certain things like you're never going to meet my boyfriend. Like you're just not. Like that's not going to happen. That's not something I'm interested in. I don't feel like I ever want to live my entire life on the internet. I don't want you ever knowing everything about me, you know? And there are a lot of you out there who don't give a fuck. Like you just want makeup tips. Like you don't care. You know what I mean? Like even this is probably too much. Where do I start putting things back is the question. Okay, I've got these palettes. Do these fit together? Yes. And then this thing. And then what goes on the other side? The lip liner. Can you guys not fight, please? Boo. Yes, 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 like this. Okay. Oh, these little stacking things are from Refer. Refer sent them to me forever ago. If they still have them, I'll link them. They're awesome. They're like the only, hey, Boo. Boo is trying to bully Ziva. You're gonna have dinner soon. Don't bully my cat. Troublemaker. So yeah, anyway, that's been something that I've been like trying to work on a lot recently since I started therapy and everything, is basically just like not being a perfectionist. So allowing for, where did my little, oh, it's back there. Allowing for things to not be done exactly the way I've made up that they need to be done, I guess. That's like number one. What mascara should I get rid of? I need this, I need this, I need this. I want this. Wait, why do I have so many of these going right now? 4 Clio Kill Lash, 1, and oh my God, 5? Okay, girl, you need to chill. Oh no, this is the volume and curling. All right, let me put a super proof back. Oh, I should get this, is definitely expired. So I'm working on this perfectionism, not ruining my life or ruling my life, I guess, because I very much let it. I actually started reading recently this book from, what's it called? Radical Acceptance. If you guys know Caroline Winkler, I'll pop her somewhere. She's the best. And she mentioned it. She has a podcast with one of her friends. And she mentioned it in the podcast, I believe. And so I picked it up and it has been so incredibly helpful. Like, I'll link it down below because it has been so incredibly helpful. You have absolutely no idea. Like, it is, I think I'm like maybe 60 or 70 pages in, and it's, I don't even want to say anything about it. It's basically just like, it talks about mindfulness and pausing when you're starting to feel certain emotions, and also not running from those emotions. So the whole book is basically about like, it's about Buddhism and the practice of mindfulness. But it absolutely, like, even if you're not a person who has any interest in like some organized religion or whatever, it's really more about like mindfulness in general. So like meditation, being in touch with like what you're feeling and stuff, and not like trying to fight it. I'm not going to be able to like do it justice by talking about it right now. But if this is something, if any of these things are, personally, I think everyone should read it. I just think that it's been so incredibly helpful already. But if you have any interest in, I don't know, if you feel like you've been so disconnected from yourself, from what you're feeling, and kind of like afraid or anxious or depressed or any of those things, I would highly recommend it. It's been very useful for me so far. I have too many eyeliners. Yeah. Okay, you're gonna go. I have such a hard time throwing out eyeliners because I feel like at some point I'm gonna need this like random color that's basically the exact same color as something else. That's like so hard for me to it's just impossible. It's impossible to get rid of certain things. So all the makeup that's on my desk is usually stuff that I use all of the time, or at least often enough. And if I'm tossing it, it's definitely like expired. So just know that. I never get rid of anything that's like not expired. I was watching, actually a very similar video. I was watching Raw Beauty Christie's, one of her recent videos where she talked about, she was basically talking, she put it so perfectly. It was like so perfectly put, that we are exiting, or we have exited the honeymoon stage of the internet and social media, or social media, I guess. And I was like, that is so well put, like so incredibly well put. Is this still like in decent shape? Ooh. Oh yeah, it is, okay. Like what a perfect way of encapsulating what is being felt by people these days with social media. And it was kind of sad, but also very like, I think comforting to know that like other people feel that way. And obviously I feel like it's, you know, some of it is very specific to creators. Like there's definitely like a shared feeling amongst creators. Oh, that's still really good. But I feel like you guys feel it too, that there's just like a lot of, I don't know, there's just like so much negativity, and it's like, it's extremely overwhelming. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel. I'm sure that you can relate, but it makes me just like not even want to interact with any of it, with any of the, I guess I'm going to keep that even though they don't make it anymore, with any of the apps or the people on it, because like you open yourself up to being criticized by somebody. And I think I've mentioned this before, but I'm not even talking about me. I'm not talking about my experience, because for the most part, my audience is so so respectful and like mature. And, it's actually kind of crazy how much I don't experience that stuff. And thank God, because like all of you, like I just feel like we've curated like such a like a dope audience. I don't know. But I don't know. I feel like there are, like I look at on YouTube, it shows like what other channels my people who watch my channel are watching. And I know a lot of you guys consume like drama content and stuff. So I'm sure that you experience this where it just feels like everything is so negative. And it gets really overwhelming. Like it just gets so overwhelming. Not even the negative content, but just like content in general gets really overwhelming when you feel like there's just so much of it and you either need to be consuming it all or, yeah, I don't even know how to put it, or creating it all, because that's often how I feel. Is just like, I feel like, oh, I'm not doing this thing that I should be doing, you know? Like everybody is doing this thing and I'm not doing it. I should be doing that. And that obviously like applies to basically everything in life. If all of your friends are going to college and you like take a year off, or because you like don't know what you want to do, which I think is a very important thing. Like, do not go to college. Do not spend all of that money. I mean, go to college. Do not spend all of this money going and studying something that you aren't going to love. Like, it's just such a mistake. Ugh. And I know that like parents can put so much pressure on their kids. I just feel bad for everyone who like feels like they have to go to school for a certain subject, because it's so much money and it's just like such a waste of time if it isn't the thing that you want to be doing, you know? And sometimes you go and you end up using your degree or whatever for other things, which is what happened to me. Like I went for art and I left with student loans that I had to pay, but I also, like, it helped me get the 2 jobs that I needed to work before I was able to do any of this stuff freelance or full-time or whatever, you know? And I wouldn't have been able to get those jobs if I didn't have an art degree. I wish I could make this work. Does anybody make this work? I can't make any smoothing, like the pore filling primers. I feel like none of them work for me. It's so irritating. So the way I have this set up is I have like eye stuff over here. So like mascara, this is all brow pencils and stuff. I have eyeliners back here. These are tools, random tools, fan, mirrors and stuff. Little mixing palettes, makeup wipes. These are alcohol wipes. I don't know why these are in here. I don't need those. This is some random stuff. Concealers that I want to use. These are all like face products. So like powders, primers, some contour powders, some blushes, contour products, and like cream bronzers and stuff. And then over here I have my like foundations, and then like my palettes that fit over here, lip liners, concealers, and then over here I have my dirty brushes I keep in the big thing, which I need to wash. I'm gonna wash these. And then I have my like 2 clean brushes. I usually have one for eyes and one for face. That's pretty much how I do it. This table is usually just filled with a bunch of junk. And now I'm trying to figure out what to do with all of these things. I've got my lens cap. I've got my Auric Plush Ritual. This is pretty much always just sitting here because I usually put it on right before I start filming. Is any of this else? That makes no sense. Lisa Eldridge spray, that's gonna go in here. I should get rid of one of these Smashbox foundations. I don't know if I need 3 shades in here. I guess that's pretty much, oh no, my eye primer. What else do I need? It's down here. Contour, little mascaras. I'll put these guys over here. Contour, eye primer, concealer that I hated. Yeah, the rest of this stuff needs to be organized. All right, well, this is clean. All right, guys, that's it. I just wanted to clean my makeup desk, basically, and chat with you. I just figured that we would do it together because I haven't been doing it. I haven't done it. I've been putting it off for so long. Now things are clean, at least kind of organized. If you enjoyed this video at all, because I know it was kind of rambly, I talked about a bunch of random shit, but if you did enjoy it at all, let me know, because, oh my God, this is a bag filled with makeup that I need to organize. It's so heavy. Oh, Jesus. All right, there's some stuff back there that I still need to organize. You know what I mean? Like, so we got some organization. We cleaned, I need to organize. So if you enjoyed this video, you let me know. And maybe we can do a chill sit down video where I'm going through all of my makeup and organizing it while we chat about random shit. You let me know, okay? Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye. Farewell. Where'd my clicker go? Oh.